Hi, welcome to English for You with More. This video is to discuss some of the expressions we can use to talk about the future. There are various ways in which we can speak about the future. A lot of expressions are there. Today we'll be discussing a few of them. We know the most common way of expressing the future is the use of will. Usually, we use will with all the subjects, whether it is the first person or the second person or the third person or any other subjects. Although there are grammarians who strictly won't that shall has to be used with I and we. Native speakers prefer will with all subjects. So let's analyze the use of will in some context to express future. Generally, we use will to express our willingness. Look at the example. Alright, I'll come with you. It is my willingness, I'm willing to come. That's meaning. So when we have to say that we are willing to do something, we generally use will plus bare infinitive. Will is usually followed by the bare infinitive form, the base form of the verb. The second use of will is to make a request. For example, will you open the door please? Here it's a request. We can use will plus bare infinitive to make request. Will you open the door please? Will you help me? There are a lot of occasions when we can use will to make a request. And the third context is to express supposition. That is where we want to say that we believe that something might happen in future. It is our belief or it is our supposition. Look at the example. Maybe he will come tonight. Here, I believe so. I'm not certain about it, but it's my supposition. So in such cases, we can use will plus bare infinitive to express supposition. And another context when will can be used is to show our intention that we are ready to do something. We intend to do something. Look at the example. I'll clean the room if you help me. I will clean the room if you help me. That's my intention. Another example of the use of will is to make predictions. We generally use will. Suppose you want to say that something might happen in future. We predict that something might happen in future. For example, the weather will be very hot this evening. The weather will be very hot this evening. It's a prediction. I'm not sure about it, I just predict. So in such cases, we can use will plus bare infinitive. Another function of will is to make a promise. We promise to do something. I'll take you to the town this evening. I'll take you to the town this evening is a promise. If you behave well, for instance. Here it is a promise. Now let's look at an example. If you don't behave yourself, I'll send you back home. What's a tone? It expresses a threat. It is a tone of threat. If you don't behave yourself, I will send you back home. It's a threat. So to express threat, we can use will plus bare infinitive. Another function of will is to show our preference. For example, if you have a lot of things in front of you and you prefer to choose one, you will say, I will take it. Means I prefer this one. So I will take it. In that particular context means preference. You opt that, you go for that. That's the meaning. The next function of will is to show the capacity or the capability. Look at the sentence. The plane will carry 200 people. It means that the plane has the capacity to carry 200 people. It can carry. That's the meaning. It has a capacity to carry 200 people. Another function of will is to show determination. Suppose somebody is going to prevent you from going somewhere. Then you will say, I will go there, whatever happens. I will go there, whatever happens, is your determination. You are determined to go. So these are some of the ways, some of the functions of will plus bare infinitive, which can be used to express future. Here, there may be a question regarding the use of shall. We know the strict grammarians who speak about the traditional grammar always insist on using shall with I and we and not with other subjects. But today, the native speakers prefer will with all subjects. They do not use a shall only with I and we, but shall has some other uses also. Let's analyze some of the uses of shall. How shall functions in certain cases. Generally speaking, with I, we and with any subjects, we use shall to make a question, to express offer, to make an offer usually, or to suggest something. We make an offer using shall, and it is usually in the form of a question. For example, shall I get a pizza for you tonight? Here, that is an offer. So, in general cases, we use shall to make an offer. And shall can be used with the other subjects. I mean, the subjects other than I and we, to express some other ideas. For instance, we use shall plus bare infinitive to speak about formal obligations. That is, it is required of you to do something. It is your obligation to do something. In order to suggest this formal obligation, we use shall. Let's take the sentence. The applicants shall provide the necessary documents. See this example. The applicants shall provide necessary documents. That is the obligation of the applicants. They are obliged to do that. So here we use shall plus bare infinitive to show obligation. And the next context when shall is used is in formal commands. For example, look at the sentence. The door shall be kept open. The door shall be kept open is a command. She shall obey my orders. It is a command. So in these two sentences we see that to express command we can use shall plus bare infinitive. Another context when shall is used is to make a promise. Shall plus bare infinitive can be used with the subjects other than I and we, the first person pronouns. We use shall here to express or to make a promise. For example, he shall be long. He shall not be long. Shan't be. Shan't is the contracted form of shall not. Won't is the contracted form of will not. He shall be long. It means that I promise that he will not take much time. He will reach here very soon. So please reserve something for him. In order to express this idea, we use he shall be long. That is a promise. So to make a promise, we can use shall plus bare infinitive. And the next use of shall is that we use it in very formal context to express future. For example, Mr. John shall begin his speech at 4 o'clock. Mr. John shall begin his speech at 4 o'clock. That is a formal context. Here in this context we use shall. Will also can be used. Most often they are interchangeable, but we can use shall here in order to suggest that it is a formal context, formal situation. With subjects other than we and I, we can use shall here. Another function of shall plus bare infinitive, as in the case of will, we can see that in some context when we have to make a threat, we use shall. For example, you shall regret this. If you do something wrong, you shall regret it. So here we see that it has a tone of a threat. Another very common way of expressing the future is the use of going to. We use going to with all subjects plus is, am or are. That is the structure, the order is subject plus is, am or are plus going to plus infinitive. Going to do something. This is very simple. A simple way of expressing future. It's more elegant and more preferable in some cases than will and shall, because it's a future plan. Look at the example. I'm going to eat pizza tonight. I'm going to eat pizza tonight shows that it is my plan for future. A simple plan. A normal plan. So in such cases, when we have to express a formal or a simple or a normal plan, we use is, am or are plus going to plus infinitive pattern. And there's yet another way of expressing a plan. That is the use of present continuous tense. Is, am, are plus the ing form of the verb can be used to express a future plan. But there is a difference. Let us see how going to is different from the present continuous tense. When we use a present continuous tense to express a future plan, it means that it's almost certain. When you say, I'm going to watch a movie tonight, it means it's a plan. But when you say, I am watching a movie tonight, it means that the plan is certain. Probably you speak about it after booking the ticket. When you book the ticket, you can say, I am watching a movie tonight. Before booking a ticket, you are not that much certain about it. So you can just say, I am going to watch a movie tonight. So remember, when you use a present continuous tense to express a future plan, it is more certain. And again, you should know that it usually is used to speak about a plan which is going to happen immediately, in the immediate future. Here in future, we know that something is going to happen immediately, and we can use a present continuous tense in such context. To express a future plan, we can use simple present also. Simple present tense can be used to express a future plan. And how? Simple present means using the base form or S form of the verb with the subjects. We generally use a base form with plural subjects and I and you. With all other subjects, means a singular subjects, we use the S form of the verb to express sometimes a future plan. And how is it different from the present continuous tense in such a context? Let's analyze an example. The examinations commence on 21st. Here we know that the timetable has already been prepared. It is a scheduled plan, something which we cannot alter, we cannot change. We don't have the right to make any changes to this plan. But when we use the present continuous tense, there is still a chance for you to make a change, because it is not based on certain timetables or some schedules. For example, when you say, my brother is coming next week, It means that he has a plan which is almost certain and he will definitely come. But still there is a chance for him to change his plan. Here in such context, we use present continuous. Whereas when the plan is a scheduled one, something with a timetable, we use simple present rather than present continuous tense. And another expression we use to speak about future is the use of about to. We use about to with is, am, or, are. And about to is followed by an infinitive. We use about to plus infinitive, be plus about to plus infinitive, to speak about an action which requires an urgent response or which is going to happen in the immediate future. It shows urgency. For example, I am about to jump into the river. So here in context which show urgency and determination, we use about to. It's another way of expressing the future. We use be plus to infinitive. That means is, am, or, are plus to infinitive to speak about future. In very formal contexts, for example, giving a command or a decree, a formal judgment. In such cases, we use is, am, are plus to infinitive. Look at the example. You are to meet him tomorrow. It is a tone of a command or advice. Here we use are to, means you are obliged to do that. It is your obligation. You have to obey this. That's the meaning, you are to. It's compulsory that you should do that. There are so many other ways in which we can express the future. For instance, the use of modal auxiliary verbs such as can, could, may, might, must, etc. But today we'll be discussing only these things, and the use of modal auxiliaries will be discussed later. We will have a separate video for that. So, thank you.